For those of you who don't know and happen to suddenly sort of fumble into this page, my name is Dov Baron. I'm the founder of FullMontyLeadership.com. You can find out more about me by simply going to FullMontyLeadership.com, and you can also find me on Entrepreneur.com. I write for them. I also write for Thrive Global, Arianna Huffington's site, along with Lisa, who's presently on with us now. She writes for them too. You can find me, of course, on YouTube, Dov Baron Full Monty Leadership. You'll find over 400 videos there, packed with loads of jewels and gems for you to get into, and you could spend your entire rainy Sunday afternoon just going through those videos, and I promise you'll get a ton of value out of them. So there's all kinds of great resources available for you, and of course we have the podcast, which is the #1 podcast on iTunes for Fortune 500 listeners, and for you. It's not just for Fortune 500 listeners. Inc. made us the #1 podcast to listen to if you want to be a better leader. So go check that out. That's Dov Baron's Leadership and Loyalty Tips for Executives. There it is. All right. Are you ready? We'll jump in. I have my Starbucks in hand, so I'm ready to go. Do you have your beverage? I do hope so. It's very nice. Very nice. So, deep greatness. That's what we've been talking about. Deep greatness. And deep greatness is not for wimps. So I want to start by saying I am Dov Baron, and I'm here to assist you in pursuing your deep greatness. On this episode of Pursuing Deep Greatness, we're going to peel back the layers, take a deep dive, because I'm going to share with you some of the actual strategies and techniques that I use with some of the high-performing leaders that I work with on their deep greatness. But again, this is not for wimps. You got to really be committed to dig in here. However, if you are committed, if you are really committed to pursuing your deep greatness, this is going to light your fire. This is going to get your juices flowing, and you are going to just love this. Deep greatness takes courage. That's what I want to say to you first and foremost. It takes courage. You've got to have courage, and it's not just your regular courage. You're going to need someone who is strong enough to hold your feet to the fire, to going after what it is that you want. You're going to have somebody who loves you and cares about you enough that they will hold your heart, your soul, your mind, to the real reason that you came here to the planet, because it isn't just so you can take up space. It's not that at all. You see, here's what I want you to know. You matter. You are already a leader. You may not have been given the title yet, but you're already a leader because you have influence. So when I say courage, when I say you're going to have courage, I am talking about a very specific kind of courage. In fact, I'm talking about two specific kinds of courage. So there's the first one, which is the courage to really, how am I going to put this? Before I get into what kind of courage, I want you to grasp something here that I think is important for us to get into. And that is that true leaders don't create followers. True leaders create leaders. True leaders tap into their own deep greatness so they can show others how to tap into their deep greatness. There's no desire for power over, but rather to sort of power up the person that you're serving. Does that make sense? So the first level of courage that I want to have you look at is the courage that it takes to create a vision, to really create a vision for your magnificent influence, to share that vision with others in a way that will enroll them into the journey of discovering their own deep greatness. See, like I said, true leaders are not about creating followers, they're about creating other leaders. So you've got to create this vision for them that will make them want to step into being a leader, that makes them want to really go to that place of being a leader. Whoops, just knocked my coffee over. The second level, the second form of courage that it will take is the courage that honestly very few step into. And that is the courage to look back, to examine the scripts that we spoke about. I think it was on a previous episode, certainly, maybe the last one, where we spoke about self-awareness. The courage to actually look back. To use that courage to identify the scripts that you were given, that are not really yours, that are put upon you. It's the courage to look at those scripts and see them for what they are, limiting lies. Then we use that same courage to inspire others to believe that their destiny is not set, that that's not exactly how it is, the way you were born, or the information you got about who you are. These externally imposed scripts are not the truth of who you are. They don't determine your reality. They don't determine where you're going to go to. So by you having the courage to look at your scripts, you inspire others to look at their scripts, so they can go on and they can go beyond that preconceived, externally imposed reality, so that they can begin to create a vision for themselves, so that they can enroll others in a vision that is their own. The courage to create a vision, number one, to inspire others. And the courage to look back and see the history. See how you've been told you are, who you've been told you are, and how you may have accepted that as your destiny, as your reality. But that's not it. It's far more than that. Thank you, by the way, Lisa, for giving me the word I was looking for there. I appreciate it. This is the courage. This is the courage to take the intelligence that you may have believed that you have, that is fixed. It's not fixed. It's the courage to accept that what you've believed is a fixed intelligence is not. And this is a way for you to give it an upgrade. But again, it takes courage. It's not for wimps, because you've got to do those two things. You've got to be able to look forward beyond your own restrictions, beyond your own limitations, beyond everything you've been told about yourself. And you've also got to be willing to look back. And that takes courage for a lot of people. Most people will like to say things like, well, that was the past. It doesn't matter. The past is gone. And you've heard me say this 1,000 times. The past is not gone. It's leaking all over your present. And you've got to have the courage to look back at it and see what about it is a lie. And you can't just say it's a lie. You actually have to go and take a look at that. You have to go and take a deep look at what that is. This is a way to give yourself that upgrade in intelligence. Because what we're talking about now, we're going to sort of move over into looking at emotional intelligence, particularly a specific form of emotional intelligence. I've talked about emotional intelligence on other episodes a little bit, but this is going a bit different. So what is the difference between these two forms of intelligence? What is the difference between IQ and EQ? How do they work? And how can knowing the difference clearly and succinctly not only allow you to tap into your own deep greatness, but make you a better leader in your own life? The difference between these two very different forms of intelligence is the difference between stagnation and your evolution. So think of it this way. When you went to school, like the rest of us, when you went to school, we were trained to answer questions. We were trained to answer questions. The whole purpose of school is to train you to answer questions. Therefore, traditional intelligence is evaluated by your ability to know the answers. And in honesty, that's not really intelligence. That's freaking parroting, right? That's simply parroting. When you think about this, I was thinking about this morning when I was just sort of writing down some notes for what I wanted to talk about. When you think about the really brilliant people who came before us, in modern times we think about people like Einstein. But if we go back over ancient history, you might think of Socrates and Plato and the great Greek philosophers and thinkers of our time. Well, not of our time, but of history. And we think of Socrates as being this incredible intelligence. But what is the main intelligence that came out of Socrates? It's something called Socratic questioning. The ability to ask questions, not at this level, but at this level, and this level, and this level, and this level, just to keep going down deeper and deeper and deeper. That intelligence is the ability to ask questions. That is not traditional IQ. Your intelligence quotient and the ability to just repeat and regurgitate. It is the emotional intelligence of being able to dig deeper, look deeper into your own consciousness and ask those questions that are below. Knowing how to ask the right questions is the key to self-knowledge. It is your evolution and it is the beginning of your path to deep greatness. Knowing how to ask others questions, well, that's the key to healthy relationships. I mean, think about it. Think about when you were dating. And maybe as you're watching this, maybe that's exactly what you're doing. But think about when you were dating. Isn't the whole process of the beginning of dating, isn't that about asking questions? I mean, that's the whole process. You're actually asking a bunch of questions. You're constantly trying to find out about that other person. You're trying to find out about what drives them, what motivates them, what makes them work, what it is that keeps them going, what it is that inspires them. The original, when you start dating, that's what we do. We ask a ton of questions. When you first meet somebody, the process of meeting them, even in a social environment or a business environment, is the process of asking questions. And yet, we let it go. And yet, we stop doing it. Knowing how to ask the right questions in your business is the key to staying relevant. It's the key to knocking out the competition. It is vital. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the 4 levels of questioning. I'm going to share with you the 4 levels of questioning. How are you? Good morning. I'm good, thank you. We have a guest. The 4 levels of questioning. Obviously, there was something. She actually stood there for about 3 or 4 minutes, so there was something inspiring there. So I want to share with you the 4 levels of questioning. Are you ready? And maybe if you have a pen and a paper, you might want to write these down, because these are powerful tools, and you can use them right now. So the first level of questioning. The first level of questioning is why. It belongs to children. Why? Why is a very important question. Simon Sinek says, start with why, right? We need to know why. It's important for us to know why. Kids ask why. Think about the favorite question of a child who's about 2.5, 3 years old. They're always asking why. Why? Why is the grass green? Why is the sky blue? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why does this have to be this way? Why? It's a very important question that unfortunately gets trained out of us very quickly. And usually it's gone by about 7 years old. Once you've done a couple of years of school, you learn to let go of why, and you learn to sort of just go, well, because they said so. So there's just the why. That's the basic level. So that's the first level of questioning, and it's something that most of us need to return to. We need to go back to that first level of questioning and ask why. About anything that we're doing. Why? Why am I doing this? Why does this matter? Why is this important? Ask why. It's the first level of questioning. So let's go into the second level of questioning. The second level of questioning tends to show up in adolescence, in personality development, psychologically. It tends to show up in adolescence. And that question we ask is, why not? So think about being a teenager and your parents said, be home, they said, be home at 10. And you said, well, can't I stay at my friend's house tonight? And they said, no. And you said, why not? And for most of us in those years, the answer to why not was very simply, because I said so. So the first level of questioning is why. The second level of questioning is why not. So we expand a little bit. We go a little bit deeper. And that takes us into the third level of questioning. And now we're into this deeper level of emotional intelligence, this deeper level of understanding of how we can operate. And that third level of questioning is, what if? See, we look at the world and we go, not only why and not only why not, but what if? It's an expansive question. It's a level of questioning that awakens innovation. It awakens creativity. We ask, why not? And then we ask the third level, what if? That's the third level, what if? Think about what if. And by the way, just so you understand this, many great companies were formed on that question, what if? Not on why, but actually on what if. What if? What if I don't have to stand in this line waiting for my coffee? Oh, let's create an app. It means I can order my coffee from Starbucks before I even get there. That would be cool. What if I don't have to stand in the rain waiting for a yellow cab to come by? Uber. What if I don't have to get in my car, drive down the road, go into the store, look through all the videos, find the video, and then discover that they actually don't have it? What if I could just order it? If I could just go on a website and order the movie that I want? What if I don't even have to go on a website? What if it's just streamed to my house? The birth of Netflix. See, so many companies, the innovation comes from what if. That's the deeper question. What if? What if? So the first level of questioning is why. Why is this going on? Why does this matter? The second level of questioning, why not? Let's think outside the box. Why not? Why not think of it in a different way? Why not do it bigger? Why not something? Why not? The third level is, what if? That's the innovative question. That's the question that allows us to expand. That's the question that lets us think in a bigger way about the things that we're doing. What if? What if there's some other way to do this? What if there is something amazing that we can do? What if? And the fourth level of questioning, let me just see how we're doing on time here. Okay. The fourth level of questioning is how. This is the very adult level of questioning. This is the level of questioning that asks us to be actionable and to be accountable. How? How can we take this? How can we make this happen? Think about the example I gave you with Netflix. There was no streaming when Netflix came. There's 1,000 options that come out of all this. So what if? That's the fourth level. Now, as Lisa just put here, she says, what if I fail? What if nobody likes me? Well, those are great questions, because those are questions that come up in people's heads. But the what if we're talking about is in the expansion beyond yourself, the expansion beyond your personality, but in the innovation, in the things that you want to see and the things that you want to have happen in the world. That's the what if. But you're right, you're absolutely right. We go, well, what if people don't like me? What if I fail? What if I look bad? What if I look foolish? What if I'm an idiot? But you know, the real innovators in the world, the real people who make the massive shift in the world, all of them They put that what if, which is a personality what if, off to the side. And they replace it with this. And I want to give you this, because this is one of the strategies that I teach my leaders. And that is this. When what if comes to your mind, what if I look foolish? What if I look like an idiot? What if they reject me? What if everybody turns their back on me? What if I fall on my face? When you have a why that's strong, when you have got connected to your own purpose, something happens, and I'll tell you what it is. You become empowered. You become lit up. And you answer the what if with this. Even if. Even if I look stupid. Even if I look foolish. Even if I fall on my face. This is what I'm here to do. Even if. Every time that what if comes, what if I look stupid? What if I look foolish? If you want to tap into your deep greatness, you have to go to even if. That's the follow-on from that what if. And then you get to the how. But when you've got your why and why not and what if in place, then you move to the fourth level of questioning, which is how. How do we make this happen? How do we have this come about? How can we do this? How can we collaborate? How can we come together? That's when it takes place. That's when you really start to tap into your own deep, deep greatness. If you want to really tap into your deep greatness, you got to operate from those four levels. Why? Why not? What if? How? And then when the doubt comes, and it will, that's what I said, it takes courage. You answer that with even if. Even if I fall on my face, even if I get rejected. You know, we got this whole thing around fail forward and people got to embrace failure and all that stuff. But it's nice to say those things, but we've got to create an environment. This is why I said you need people who can support you in your deep greatness. You need people who will hold your feet to the fire to fulfilling your purpose, but at the same time hold your heart and your soul and your mind and love you enough to support you and bring you up, to take that hand and reach out to you and bring you up when you fall down and remind you that that's not who you are. You fell down, but that's not who you are. That you're here for deep greatness. Next time I'm going to get deeper into the questioning process and understanding how that can really expand who you are and take you deeper into finding not only your passion, but your purpose. Till next time, this is Dov Baron, FullMontyLeadership.com, saying stay curious, my friend. Stay curious about how you can tap into a deeper level of questioning, expand your emotional intelligence, and as my friend Lisa says, unfuck yourself. Stay curious, my friend. Stay curious. I will stay on and I will answer any questions you might have. I will come back at the end. I'll post this. I'll come back. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to be of service to you. Again, my name is Dov Baron. I'm the founder of Full Monty Leadership. You can find out more about me, about bringing me in, hiring me, and working with me as your coach and mentor to get you into your deep greatness. Till next time, this is Dov Baron, Full Monty Leadership, saying, I'm out.